Look, she said, like something about a nigga being gay or need to question himself. And then I'm going, oh shit, what the fuck am I gonna say something like that?
And then what you said?
And then I thought about it, and I said, when I thought about it, I said, oh no, this bitch think I'm gay because I let her lick my ass.
Guess who's igniting the issue this time? We're returning to the old DL rumors about 50 Cent, which I didn't think would happen. I don't know whether these two are real, but it seems like Auntie Vivica Fox is jumping right back in, saying that 50 should stop acting like he's perfect and relax with the shade. Vivica has returned to the attack and isn't holding back this time, particularly the claims that Curtis is living a life of denial. If the truth is being said in the streets, however, they are once again quietly beefing.
But he's just seems like he's got something that's not quite clear. So
you mean sometimes if people protest too much about something,
yes,
there's the fire is happening right there in front of them.
Absolutely. I just never forget there was a Vibe cover with him and Soulja Boy that made me kind of go,
Just wondering if there are any straight men left in Hollywood these days. It seems like someone is exposed or called out every other day for allegedly being on the DL, rather than 50 Cent, who was once referred to as the last straight man standing. In reality, what's going on, these claims are not new. So let's talk about them now.
you know, he was absolutely the love of my life, and I have no problem admitting that. But last year, there was just some awful misconceptions about our relationship. So that's when I started the book. And I had always protected Curtis for the longest time. There were things about our relationship that I always protected it because in my heart, I always still loved him. I always will have a very special place in my heart for him.
For those who have been observing, they are some of the earliest indicators that they have been present for a long time. Hip-hop artist. Yep, 50 lamented that other rappers in Hollywood were throwing questionable parties. But his own parties were equally awful in a blind essay that was posted on blogs in the past. According to the blind item, the half-dollar artist was hosting gatherings that featured front and back hugs and other forms of intimacy. Furthermore, Rufus Wainwright, a musician, came out at the age of 50 and publicly admitted that he had affections for him. Additionally, Rufus stated, "I think he's just the sexiest and a brilliant writer. And I know he's gay." Rufus Wainwright said, 50 Cent, feel free to call me after some people gasped at his statement. His small, quiet voice is so cute. Whenever my boyfriend and I are feeling very skilled, you are invited to join us for dinner or perhaps dessert. The public outcry by 50 Cent against his ex-girlfriend Daphne Joy for supposedly playing with Diddy was one of the most significant storyline twists. Additionally, the game implied that 50 occasionally likes to backstroke if you catch the drift, such as, she got his head, he's just like Diddy always. Daphne posted on Instagram after the move backfired saying, "We moved to New York to give you the opportunity to be a father to your son. And you saw him 10 times out of the 2 years that we lived 1 mile away from you."
And the main thing that what killed the relationship was that we just went way too public, way too fast. The love that I had for him, and still to this day, will always, like, he was the love of my life. I will admit that without any reservations. He will always have a very special place in my heart. But the reason why the relationship ended was because we just went public way too fast.
Then she went on, "When Daphne uttered the words, 'You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you,' from that moment on, the microphone dropped. She ignited the match after adding that she was sick of maintaining a reputation for their son that 50 never earned, implying that people ought to be talking about how he reportedly behaved exactly like Diddy while they were dating. Incredibly transparent, it all boils down to the long-standing rumors that 50 might be on the DL, rumors that Auntie Vivica has been hinting at for years, that he broke their hearts for the last time, destroying all hope she had left in 50 as a parent and a man gone.
Had way too many people in our business, and if I was to have a chance to do it over, it would be that we stayed private.
So let's go back a little bit. The number of people who watched the Empire episode last night has decreased by 3 million. Did you see it? Following his sharing of a questionable industry post on Blast _, Vivia expressed her worry that 50 might be concealing something. The post asserted that the decline in Empire's ratings was due to an excessive number of celebrity cameos and LGBT plots. Last night's extra celebrity and LGBT content was too much for us to take. Decided to republish it instead of continuing to get 50 and then included his own. He stated, Empire's TV ratings took a huge hit, and as though he had the solution, he told Taraji P. Henson to get in touch with him. Now, Cookie, I'll quit. Everyone should watch the show for you. So call me, baby. At that point, Vivica took sides and started to question what 50 was truly attempting to convey. Haha. When the anger began to rise, 50 Cent quickly took down the post, and his group reacted with some cleanup by releasing a statement saying that as soon as Mr. Jackson discovered that there was more content in the blog about Empire's ratings that he didn't agree with, he reposted something on Instagram that came from that blog. For that reason alone, he deleted that post right away. She effectively put it all out there on Watch What Happens Live, coming for him with gusto.
My phone started blowing up, and I was like, Lord, what I do now? You know? And they said, yeah, Curtis finally said something about your movie.
Yeah.
And, I took it as a compliment. I did. I was like, that was his way of showing support. Thanks, boo.
Okay, so, but I know, let me tell you this, and I don't know if y'all remember, because y'all remember when
she replied, first of all, you know the pot calling the kettle black is all I'm saying. When they pressed her to explain what she meant, she also didn't repress anything.
50 and Vivica was dating. Y'all were dating.
13 years ago.
13 years ago. Okay. And I remember it was some kind of awards ceremony. You was on stage and your body was popping. And I remember Curtis, like, he was in love with you, girl. Would you ever think about getting back together with Mr. Curtis Jackson if he came?
Well, Ben and Jen did it again. Why not?
Viva wrote, wow, that was from my Empire season to family. On Twitter following the broadcast, drop my child, please. She also mentioned that 50 and Sulia Boy had appeared on a magazine cover, which suggested that this was not at all aiding his cause. Given that everyone who knows 50 Cent or Sulia Boy knows they weren't unresponsive to that sort of criticism, and Sulia Boy wasted no time in taking revenge, everyone hit out this cougar. She's single and ready to mingle, a granny desperate for attention. He said as a description for the first image he shared of Viva. After that, 50 entered and continued. He posted the identical photo along with an absurd comment that left everyone in a state of shock.
I've said this many times before, 50 Cent was the love of my life. He was the one that, kind of blew that one. Happens. I was young, had been used to taking care of myself. 50 wanted me to be his princess, and I didn't get it.
Even though he is absolutely the love of my life, oh gosh. Dating 50 Cent, was difficult. Because I really, really cared for him and I loved him very, very much.
Remember when you told me, screw Halle Berry, I could have played every role she ever did better? Was the awkward caption for one of the older photos of Viva that 50 Shades of Grey shared? After his comment went viral online, what did you take is what I just asked. Vivica is apparently still talking and telling people that she has more tea to drink. Nevertheless, whatever transpired between them to cause Vivica to pop off like this is wild, and becoming messier by the second. However, others assert that Viva is merely engaging in these DL rumors because she is still sour and may even still desire his return. But let's be honest, Viva has been very forthright about the fact that 50 Cent is her one true love and has stated this on multiple occasions. She was extremely direct when she said that 50 Cent holds a very special place in her heart. In an interview with Vlad, people are wondering if they are missing him or if these recent insults are an effort to bring him to light. Vivica stated in a 2023 interview on Sherry Shepherd's talk show that she would absolutely be amenable to dating 50 Cent once more. She also likened the possibility of their reunion to the dramatic romantic return of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. We can't even begin to count the number of times that Vivica has been referred to as the love of her life. Now, simply let it go. I review some of my past work. I learned to keep quiet. Have a look at that. Look at the conclusion. That's trouble. He captioned a video of his 2003 BT Award speech, in which he won Best New Artist, showing the precise moment he made his move on Vivica. He laments their time spent together. And that wasn't the end of it. 50 has a large collection of photographs. He mockingly compared Viva's photo to a mugshot of reality TV star Raji Naranjing, who had undergone unsuccessful plastic surgery. In 2016, in the comment, 50 states, "To don't know why somebody would want to betray me. Since I will continue to win, I wouldn't bother if it weren't for me. People do it to garner attention, in my opinion, and they wind up receiving more than they wanted. Dragging someone to make a point is never acceptable. And let's not forget that Raji Nareen Singh was not deserving of being pulled in that manner. Power, not Empire, was a show to watch, as I told you all. His overall manner raised the possibility that this is why Power never garnered the same degree of Emmy adoration as Empire. As we move on to Vivica's most recent BBL, she went ahead and finished that work. Rumors circulated that he was thinking about turning around and contacting her again. But 50 swiftly put a stop to them by declaring, hell no. He never showed more than a trace of tenderness when someone asked him about Vivica's romantic comments about him being her real love. Finally, he lowered his voice and remarked, I'm never bothered by when she says that. He continued by saying that although their love was sincere and had a significant impact on both of them, if you were to genuinely tear it down 50 times, there would never be a reconciliation. When everyone else started pulling strings, things got complicated, so Viva always told him that I would have kept it secret. She eventually lost the ability to make her own decisions because publicists were instructing her what to do and how to move. Maybe that's why Vivica keeps saying 50 after then. It started feeling all weird when they were together. The timing just wasn't right because they were both so caught up in the moment and didn't realize how much outside pressure was creeping in, he once said. Please share your opinions in the comments section below. We'd love to hear them. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share in order to ensure that you don't miss the next wild celebrity breakdown. She reaffirmed that he was her true love a few months earlier. But it gets murky when she also publicly accuses him of being unfaithful.